What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. The Premier League is back, people, and that can only mean one thing, and that means we are Tottenham TV's Predict the Prem is back. Reformed. We've got some new scoring systems going on, as you can remember quite clearly. I remember it just like it was yesterday, how I took the crown of the first year of the Premier League Predicts and the Spurspective. But Sim, where's your fighting talk this year?
Well, with the new scoring system, I think it's going to be the benefit to me, I reckon.
Is it?
Yeah, because I'm going to get more things right. You got a few lucky spot-ons, but I'm going to get more overall, I reckon. And look, we'll get into it. I'm confident I'm going to get some revenge this year. Confident, very confident.
You were pretty confident the whole way through last year that you were going to win as well. So
yeah, all right. Well, if we had started right at the beginning, I would have won.
Excuses, guys. Oh, this guy's full of excuses, literally. But the scoring system this year is 1 point for a correct result, 3 points for a correct result and both teams to score, 5 points for a correct score, and we've added the addition of a star player. So each game week, me and my brother will be picking a player, and every time that player scores, it's 2 points per goal. So Sim, who have you picked this week?
Are we going for it straight away? Which player? Timo Werner. You've also picked Timo Werner.
No,
who you pick?
I would never pick Timo Werner. I'm picking Mo Salah.
Mo Salah. Interesting. Yeah, I was either Liverpool or I'm thinking Palace, their first game under a new manager with all the upheaval. I was thinking they're going to be less settled than Norwich. So I was thinking Liverpool player or Chelsea player, but I went just Chelsea because I thought Chelsea, a very settled team. Werner definitely going to be playing because Lukaku's not. So I went with that.
I went for Salah because of Liverpool against Norwich. You know how Liverpool love to batter Norwich in the Premier League. It's a fair point.
No, it's a fair point. And I was seriously considering Liverpool player. I just felt Norwich will hope they think they've learned their lesson for the last time they played Liverpool and they got battered. So maybe. Well, look, you
Suarez ain't on the pitch though.
True, that's a good point. But Salah, he's going to get a couple of penalties, isn't he?
Yeah,
you know that.
All right, so I've gone for Salah. My brother's gone for Timo Werner. Now let's get into the predictions, and it's Brentford against Arsenal tonight. As you can see in the smile on my face, you could probably think what I have predicted. I've predicted 2-1 to Brentford.
I've gone 1-1. I think Arsenal are going to struggle to get points tonight. I feel like without Lacazette and Aubameyang, looks like they're both out for tonight. Gabriel as well, he's also not playing. So I think Arsenal are going to struggle. Brentford will come into this game confident. First game in the Premier League for I don't know how many years ever. Probably I don't think they've ever been in the Premier League, have they, Brentford? Yeah. So I think they're going to be buoyed by it. They're a good attacking team. I just feel like they're only going to get the draw. It'll be a good performance. I reckon Brentford will deserve the win, but it's only going to be a draw.
Yeah, I just can't see Arsenal getting any points tonight. I really can't. Wow. I think Brentford in front of the home fans, it's going to be an intense atmosphere for the Arsenal players. As you mentioned, a lot of their key players out tonight, and even with their key players, I couldn't see them win, but especially now, I definitely can't see them win. It could be a draw. It could very well be a draw.
Could it be a blessing in disguise not having Aubameyang and Lacazette? Maybe get fresher players who are willing to work harder.
Like who?
Martinelli,
is he fit?
Saka,
is
Smith
Martinelli
Rowe.
fit?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Could it be a blessing in disguise?
It could be. Smith Rowe would probably play anyway.
Force him into a kind of younger front line, maybe that.
Like what happened against Chelsea last year when it kind of revitalised them a bit. It could do. I take your point there, but still, I'm holding strong for Brentford tonight. Anyway, so look, I'm going 2-1. My brother's going 1-1. Let's move over to Manchester United against Leeds.
I've gone for Man United to win 2-1.
2-1. I've gone for a Desmond. I've gone for 2-2. I think this game promises goals tonight. I think Man United aren't going to be at their strongest because, their new signings. I mean, Jadon might play, but Varane is definitely not going to be playing tonight. So I think they could be a bit leaky at the back, United tonight. And Leeds, Leeds, absolutely. Everyone knows what you're going to get with Leeds.
Not tonight. Sorry, you said tonight.
Sorry, on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff.
I was about to say, it's 2 games tonight. I was getting excited for a minute.
I was going to say, Leeds, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You're going to get a hard-working performance. They're going to try and outrun the opposition, and they're never going to give the opponent a moment's rest. So I've got a feeling it could be a draw tonight.
I was flirting, actually, with 1-0 Leeds. I was actually flirting with that just because how defensively strong they were at the back end of last season. The fact that United, no Cavani, because he's got an extended break, no Rashford. So they're missing a couple of attacking players. So it looks like they're probably going to start. But I think starting with a front three of probably Greenwood, Martial and Sancho, I think it should. I reckon it's not going to be an easy game for Man United, but they'll scrape by. I think they're just going to scrape by at 2-1. I think with Leeds, I have a feeling Bamford might be worked out this year. I have a sneaky feeling he's not going to get as many goals as he was last season. Yeah. So I think they might get one, but I don't know if they're going to have enough to get points. But yeah, I've gone for 2-1 United.
All right, Burnley against Brighton. I have gone for 1-1 Burnley-Brighton. I think that Burnley I actually tipped to go down this season. I think Brighton, they had I wouldn't say a good season last year. I'll say a good season in terms of the way they played their game, but bad season in terms of results. And they could have gone down Brighton last year. They probably were too good to go down at the end. But in this game, at Turf Moor, in front of the fans, I think Burnley will be up for it. But I think Brighton might be a bit too good to suffer defeat today. So I've gone for 1-1.
Yeah, I went for 1-0 Brighton.
Saturday,
I went for 1-0 Brighton. I think Brighton will try and build on how they were performing last season. They got the 50 million in for Ben White. I know I don't know, to be honest, who they've signed. They've signed a few players. I don't particularly know who they are, but Brighton's recruitment under Potter has been fairly strong. So I trust that Brighton have probably got some decent players coming through the door. They've got a good scouting network. I think Burnley are going to be dominated from possession-wise, and I have a feeling that Brighton might pass them off the park in this game. And I feel like they'll get one goal, and they'll kind of manage the game and go on to victory. That's how I see it.
All right, Chelsea Palace, London derby.
3-0 Chelsea.
Ooh, 3-0. I've gone 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0? Only one goal?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've gone for 1-0 to Chelsea. My reasoning behind that is because Lukaku's not playing, first of all, and I think last year they did struggle for goals. And I imagine it could be the same tomorrow. I think that Chelsea will have all the possession. They'll have all the passing. They'll pass Crystal Palace to the absolute death. But I think Palace can hold a bit strong in defence, and I think Chelsea might struggle for goals early on the season without Lukaku. I think they'll get the win, and I think they'll outplay Palace, but I think they'll only get the one goal.
A lot, I guess, it depends if Mount's going to play and players like that. But I think they've got more than enough firepower without Lukaku to play in this kind of game and score convincingly. I think Werner, Havertz are going to be in the front line with, I'm not sure who, I know Ziyech might be an injury, so I'm not sure if he's going to play. But Havertz and Werner have enough more firepower with a year now of experience in the Premier League. I have a feeling they're going to start the season firing those two. They want a point to prove. I've got a sneaky feeling they're going to be in for a big one. So I think I reckon that Chelsea they have a system which is very settled now. They did struggle to score goals, but I feel like they're advancing from that stage now, and they seem to be a team that consistently can create many chances. And especially later on last season, they were definitely progressing from that mould where they were struggling a bit to create. I don't think they're going to concede. And I think with Palace, so many changes, new manager. I feel like he's going to struggle a bit at early stages anyway to get up to speed, and I reckon they're going to take an early season hammering. All right.
Everton against the Saints.
1-0 Everton.
I've gone for 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah. What's your reasoning?
I think Southampton, I think they're still waiting for the signings to get Ings, replacing Ings and stuff like that. So I think they're going to struggle early doors. They got obviously Adam Armstrong in, but I think he might take a few weeks to maybe bed into the Premier League. So I think without the firepower of Ings, they got Shea Adams, but I don't know if it'll be enough because Everton last season, despite maybe struggling going forward, they always had a fairly tight rear guard. Their defence is, is fairly tight. Holgate, Godfrey, Digne, them lot. So I think they'll keep a clean sheet. Benitez, I think, will make sure a clean sheet is a priority in his first game, I reckon. And I reckon they'll get a goal out of Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. They'll get a goal out somewhere. So 1-0.
When you were talking about Everton's defence, all I could think in my head was Digne and Demban.
Digne and Demban. Chat to Digne and Demban.
But I've gone for 1-1. I think Everton last year did have one of the worst home forms in the league last year. And I think when Everton come up...
fans are back in stadiums now.
It's true. But when Everton do come up against this kind of opposition, like a mid-table kind of battle at home, I always feel like they're left wanting. Not even just last year, but a lot of years on the bounce, or even since I can remember following football, to be honest. I think Southampton, they could actually go down this season. They really could, with the players that they've let go and the kind of players that they've brought in. I mean, it's just not good enough for me. And Everton as well. Obviously, they're not going to go down, but I think the players that they've brought in are below them. I think they should be aiming higher than for what they've brought in. So I'm not expecting that much from Everton this year. In terms of Southampton, again, I'm not expecting that much, but I think it could be a score draw this one. I can't really back Everton to win this one, and I can't back Southampton to win, so I went for a 1-1.
All right.
Leicester against Wolves. I have gone for 2-0 to Leicester.
I've gone for 1-0. I feel like I feel it's going to be a tight game. Wolves are going to want to make an impression under the new manager. I know I said the different with Vieira, but I think with this new manager, I think he's going to be more settled at Wolves than Vieira will be at Palace. I think he's come into a place where it's more suited to him, and I think they're more of a settled side right now than Palace are with all their upheaval. So I reckon it's going to be a tightly fought, contested game. Wolves are going to want to start the season well, but I think Leicester are just going to scrape it.
Yeah, I think it might be a comfortable victory for Leicester this weekend. I think Leicester, there's a lot of positivity going around Leicester. I was impressed with them in the Community Shield as well against Man City. Wolves with a brand new manager. Raul Jimenez as well coming back. It remains to be seen if he's going to hit the ground running after such a big injury. So I've gone for Leicester to win this one comfortably, 2-0 at home, first game of the season. Watford against Aston Villa. I have gone for 3-1 to Villa.
I've gone 2-1 to Villa.
Ooh, just a goal off each of our predictions so far.
Very, very tight. But I think Watford are going to get a goal out in this one. I think they've got a lot of new signings. Assist, Rose will get exactly. I'm sure Watford will want to, in front of the Hove fans, try and start the season well. But I think Villa have signed well. And I think with the firepower they've replaced Grealish with, I'm not saying over a whole season it's going to fire them into a European place potentially, but I think early doors they're going to want to prove that they can play without Grealish, and I'm backing to score in this one.
Yeah.
And they've also got players like Watkins, McGinn's still there, so they've got some talent in that team, and I back them to win this. But I don't think it's going to be that convincing. I just reckon 2-1.
I think when you cast your mind back to last season, Villa were on fire at the start of the season, and I think that the thing that really let them down last season was all those congested games all together in a row, and like all those games right at the beginning of the season got called off for COVID and all that kind of stuff.
And injury to Grealish.
But they were actually on fire all before that. And I think that they can hit the ground running this season as well. The signings they've brought in have been heavily impressive. I think going forward they're going to look good, and I think they're tight at the back as well. I think they had the most clean sheets last year. Is that right? Or one of. So look, I think they might concede this one against Watford, but I back them to have a resounding victory against Watford, who are my tip to finish bottom of the league, actually, Watford.
Interesting.
Next up is Norwich against Liverpool.
I've gone 4-1 to Liverpool.
Ooh, 4-1. I've only gone 2-0.
I reckon Liverpool are going to make a statement in this game. I think Norwich are going to want to try and kind of learn from their mistakes, where they last time in the Premier League I think they got battered 4-0 or something in their first day, and maybe I think coming back into the Premier League they're going to want to try and prove a few people wrong. But I think Liverpool, with the whole host of injuries they had last season, the struggles they had in front of goal and stuff, I think that in the opening day, I'm not saying it's going to last the whole season. I think on the opening day they're going to want to make a statement that they're serious this season, because I think a lot of people are writing them off for the title. They're saying it's going to go Chelsea or City, and I think they definitely remember. We have to remember they did finish on 98 points and 99 or 97 and 99 points consecutive seasons, and they're going to want to open the season saying we're here and we can definitely compete for the title. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying on the opening day they're going to want to make a statement.
I think when you look at Norwich, the reason I've gone for them not to score is I don't know what signings they've brought in, but they've got rid of Emi Buendia, who was massive for them last season. They've haven't got rid of, but we've taken Ollie Skip back, who was also massive for them. Yes, they've got Billy Gilmore in there instead of Ollie Skip, who is a good signing. But I just can't see them scoring in this game. I can't see them scoring with Virgil van Dijk back, with Konate there, with Joe Gomez there. I think Liverpool are going to be really, really strong at the back this season. I can see them keeping a clean sheet. I can't see them scoring it could very well be 4 goals, but I've just gone for 2-0 to ease Liverpool nicely into the season with a clean sheet and 3 points. And it's interesting for you, Sim, how you've gone 4-1 to Liverpool and 3-0 to Chelsea, but you've gone for Timo Werner and not Mo Salah.
Yeah, because I think Werner's going to get a hat-trick.
Salah's going to score 4.
I've just got a feeling Werner's going to get a couple of goals, and you never know, Liverpool. It could be either Salah, Mane, Jota. It could be any of them. That's why I've gone for Werner.
All right, Newcastle against West Ham. Moving over to Sunday, I've gone for 0-0.
0-0, wow. Yeah. I've gone 2-0 West Ham. I think they're very settled side. Haven't made any signings, but I think in this kind of game, coming up against a Newcastle side who also haven't made any signings, I think they're going to come up trumps. So now looking in pre-season, giving Antonio the number 9 shirt, he's looking threatening in pre-season. Ben Rama's looking good as well. So I think opening day, they're going to open up strong, and I'm gone for a 2-0 victory for West Ham.
Yeah, I've just gone for a 0-0. I think Newcastle, they're in for a struggle this season. West Ham, obviously, they had a big season last year, and I think it's going to be impossible to replicate that for West Ham. I really do. But in terms of West Ham travelling all the way up to Newcastle for the first game of the season, look, I can see West Ham winning it 2-0 or 1-0, like you said, but I've gone for a 0-0 just for something a bit outside the box.
Interesting. Fair enough.
Spurs against Man City, last game of the weekend.
2-2.
2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs. Voila.
Harry Kane to get the double.
Harry Kane to get the double, and Romero to start as well.
Yeah, Romero to start.
It's all the big guns. I just feel like Man City coming into this game I feel like they're not just like quite settled at the moment. A lot of players come back from the Euros and stuff. I don't think a lot of players are injured as well. So I feel like it could be a bit vulnerable, but I think they'll have enough to get a point in this game. So I've gone for 2-2.
Yeah, I think Man City, I really was not impressed with them at all in the Community Shield. I was expecting much better from them. They're going to have a lot of missing players. I mean, they started the season last year very slowly as well, and this year they've got even more players coming back from internationals. So I can see Man City having a slow start to the season like last year, but really getting into it in a month's time or something like that and start blowing teams away like they did. With us at home, with the fans in front of us, with Harry Kane potentially the handover game. Look, I can't give you many facts why Spurs are going to win this game, but we do seem to have City's number in the league.
True.
At home.
True.
So I've gone for a sneaky 2-1 win and Nuno to get off with a winning start.
All right.
All right, so that is your Predict the Prem today.
Is that the first time we've ever had different results in every game?
I think so. I think it's the first time. Let me know in the comment section below what your predictions are, and I want to know who your star man for this weekend would be as well. We'll bring you the perspective at the end of the weekend with our updated scorelines, but obviously I'm going to win as always. But thank you everyone for watching today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.